Who wins in a fight, a human or an eagle? A human. But if you got really unlucky, an eagle. Like, an eagle could... It wouldn't, first of all. But if it really wanted to, it could one-shot you on the jugular, I guess. But it wouldn't. You could definitely get to it first. But that's why I'm saying if you got really unlucky, then the eagle. E-Rob did a tier list ranking what animals he could beat in a fight. Honestly, the list was actually all right. It was all right. But I don't think that you're winning to an octopus, I'm going to be honest, Eric. I think... they have beaks and they're, you'd be underwater, and I think you would have a really hard time getting a grip on it. And I think you would drown before you killed it. I could not kill an octopus underwater. He would destroy a buck. Okay, that's definitely wrong. Did I tell you about the moose? I did tell you about the moose. The Tooth and Claw podcast talked about moose encounters. I've said this before a bunch of times on stream. There's a moose that killed a woman in Alaska. They found her body in the woods, and they thought it was a murder, and they ruled her death murder via ride-on lawnmower, because they were like, nothing else could make abrasions this deep with grass deep in those abrasions. So they thought someone ran over her with a lawnmower. And then they found moose hair in the cuts. And they were like, oh, she was trampled, or she was, like, beat by a moose. Killed her. Anyway, bucks aren't as scary as moose, but a buck could definitely kill you. They're really strong. Crazy stuff. Lots of people have died via moose. Probably a grizzly bear. Yeah, grizzly bear. The only reason I say that is because grizzlies have 2 weapons... 4, I guess, because they have claws and they can like shred you, whereas a gorilla could bite the shit out of you and are very strong, and can grab and stuff like that. But I think a bear just shreds, and a gorilla would have to, like, I don't know. And grizzlies are massive. I went to the eye doctor yesterday. Turk is pulling my life together. I've been to a dentist, a dental surgeon, a doctor, and an eye doctor in the past month. Whew. I went to the doctor, and I have to go get a pap smear. I have to go get another pap smear, which is where they stick a Q-tip up your vagina and they swab your cervix. It actually does kind of hurt. And then I have to get blood work done. She was like, when was the last time you had blood work done? I said, never. Isn't it crazy that I've never had my blood drawn before? She was like, have you refused blood draws? And I was like, no, nobody's ever asked me for it. I'm 24. I've never had blood drawn in my life. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, no doctor's ever asked me for my blood. I don't know what to tell you. I haven't offered it to them. Like, what am I going to be like? Do you want my blood? I just, like, nobody's ever asked me. I don't know. It's not like I don't want it done. It just never happened. So now I have to get a blood draw, which would be ill nasty. You've never tested for STDs? I have gotten STD tested, but they didn't draw my blood. I don't know. I've only been to a clinic once to get tested for STDs. It was the worst experience, by the way. I went and took those tests, and because it was a clinic in a college town, so they are busy. They're really busy. Busy to the point where they're like, if we don't call you, it's because you're clean. They're like, we will call you if you have a positive result. And they give you a time frame of like days. So you just have to wait for days, and it's like, oh, they're not calling me. And then you're not supposed to call them if they don't call you. And you just don't know. You're just like, oh, well, they didn't call me, so I guess I don't have an STD. peepoGiggles. I don't know. It was very stressful. Sounds miserable. Why did I even get that? Oh. That's why. Nah, I do remember that. Good stuff. You can't see your lab results online? No, there's no portal. There's no online portal. Crazy stuff. How are your eyes? Bad, dude. They're bad. Or they're not bad. They're really not bad. My prescription's nothing. My prescription's not even -1. Or it is in one eye. It is in my left eye's better. But my depth perception, first, my vision has gotten worse since I got my glasses last time. These are my current glasses, so I had to get new glasses. But I thought your left eye was only better when you're drunk. No, it just is better. How many fingers am I holding up? That's a trick question. So I had to take a depth perception test, and it was like it was a sheet, and it had a bunch of dots on it. And she goes, okay, tell me which dots are closer to you, like which ones pop out. And I was like, you're joking. And she was like, what? I was like, these are all the same, right? And she was like, no.
Peepo nerd.
It's this whole sheet. It's this whole it's this big, and there's line by line. It's 3 dots in each line, and one of the dots, apparently, I think she's gaslighting me. One of the dots in each line was sticking out further, and it's a test for depth perception. But I was like, you're joking. And she was like, no. And she was like, it's fine. Just it's okay if they're not correct. Is this why you're a bad driver? I'm a great driver, Connor. She was like, it's okay if you're not correct. Just pick the ones that look the closest to you. And I was like, these are all the same. And I was like, if you want me to go through and say a bunch of random numbers, I will, but it will literally be me.
Classic
like,
sus.
I'll just say 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, like, because they all look the exact same to me. And she was like, okay, well, that's the end of the test then.
What are you doing?
I couldn't take the test. Justin, thank you for the 6 months. I don't think there's anything they can do about it. Dion made an interesting point this morning. I think that might be part of why I cannot tell or remember how tall somebody is. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Maybe I haven't talked about that enough. But, like, I will think that people are either so tall or so short. That doesn't make sense? It does. That's why. It's because of my stigmatism in both eyes. I do have astigmatism in both eyes.
Wow.
15 months, Pog.
Thank you for the 15 months. Also, my optometrist wrote his Twitch username on his business card and gave it to me. So if you're here, hello, thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it. No, he didn't. Swear to God. Swear to God. He streams a little bit. Can you get LASIK? Apparently I can't because of the stigmatism. Or at least that's what Nike told me yesterday. I talked to Nike yesterday, and she said that we can't get, because she has stigmatism in her eyes too, and she said we can't get LASIK because of that. No lasers for you. Does he do optometry streams? No. I think he streams, he just streams games. But I don't think he knew who I was. Well, he asked what my Twitch username was. So, I don't know. I don't really remember how we started talking about streaming. No, it's actually, we did start out, he said something about his computer, and he was like, yeah, I need it for stream. And I was like, stream. And then we talked about streaming a little bit. He was very nice, very helpful. When your eye isn't shaped perfectly like a sphere, it can be on different eyes. Yeah, yes. Astigmatism is just like, something about it's the shape of some part of your eye, and then it has to do with the physics of your eye, and the way that the light hits the back, it doubles it up in the back of your retina.
Wow.
Looking at brake lights at night is fun. Right. When you look at brake lights at night, if you have astigmatism, they are everywhere. Everywhere. Where'd you get those dino shirts from? San Antonio Zoo. We should go. I love the San Antonio Zoo. I've been there a bunch of times. You see?
We've got a #1 victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down. 10 kills on the board right now. Just wiped out Tomato Town. My friend just got down. I revived him. Now we're heading southbound. Now we're in the Pleasant Park Street. Look at the map. Go to the mark sheet.